Hey everybody, welcome back to another Blind Tuesdays. Hope you guys been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. It's just been pretty busy here at the house with, the holidays and all that. You know how it goes. Um, we're just settling back into our normal routine, so hopefully that might mean a normal routine returning back to the channel. So, you know. Um, and just to say real quick, I'm not sure if it's still a thing come Tuesday, but as of this recording, we've reached 100 subscribers, and I just wanted to say thank you guys for just following the channel and just, tolerating this cynic's, viewpoints. Hey, just shooting the shit. So glad to see some new guys, new faces to the channel. So let's get into our Blind Tuesdays for this week. Last time we did this was a few weeks ago, I think. Yeah, so it's been a hot minute, and the category was war, and I had a few options. Initially, I was gonna do Pearl Harbor, and I never saw Pearl Harbor, so I was tempted to do that, but that was a long movie. That was like 3 hours long, and I didn't have 3 hours at my disposal. So I was like, so. Um, and then I thought of Ron, the Kurosawa film, and again, long movie. I love Kurosawa, but again, I want something that I can kind of sit down and just watch in like 2 hours or less. Something just that I can just bite size, just get it done. And Netflix answered that with Lone Survivor, which was written and directed by Peter Berg. Um, this would be the first of three collaborations with Mark Wahlberg, as well as the first of three, uh, I guess you could say, disaster-based pieces, because ultimately it's acting more as a disaster than anything. I mean, they're all thrillers in essence, and they're tackling real stories. But in essence, they're basically like disaster type flicks. So, um, and this is the start of that. So, stars Mark Wahlberg as Marcus, and is a group of soldiers that are deployed to Afghanistan. They're on a mission. Following that would be Ben Foster, Taylor Kitsch, as well as I'm probably gonna fuck up his name. I think it's Finn Hirsch. I think that's his name. They're dropped in Afghanistan, and they have a mission, and that mission becomes compromised when a couple of Afghanistan citizens notice them, and from there they are in a fight for survival as each person gets picked off one by one, and Mark Wahlberg is the lone survivor. Um, so, uh, Going into this, I had seen the other two films that came after this, so Deepwater Horizon and Patriots Day, and I remember enjoying both more Patriots Day than I did Deepwater Horizon. And I would still say that Patriots Day of the three is probably my favorite. But I would say Lone Survivor would be number two in that list because, um, in essence, it's pretty bare bones. It's about survival. It's about one's ability to put their trust in others. There's obviously a surrounding a patriotism is at the center of it. Emotionally, what it's trying to bring up. Um, it can't rub off the smell of familiarity for me, and it does act a lot of times like an infomercial, like just kind of like giving. Or not infomercial. What's the word I'm looking for? I guess like just like a commercial for for the army, for Marines and all that sort of stuff. And obviously there's tributes, there's all that stuff, but it's like overall, like once we get to the dramatized moments with Mark Wahlberg and everything like that, it still feels like it's acting as such and not as a piece of storytelling. Um, but thankfully, that's not as prominent. It's there throughout, but it's like a background element. Like you could sense it, you know, because thankfully, a lot of the time the movie operates under a largely cinematic representation. I mean, visually it's quite strong, and there's a lot of sweeping and a lot of like big landscapes. It's the one time that I will say that shaky cam is acceptable. Within a war film, I think that shaky cam is perfectly acceptable because it's just the nature of like war and stuff like that. You're trying to hide and duck and trying to seek cover and stuff like that. It's I have no problem with shaky cam in this genre. In other genres, like even horror, it's like no, I don't know. Lots of drone shots I'd notice as well. Like even when they're following the characters like through the forest, it seems like there's drone shots being used. Um, but more than anything, it has a very steady delivery and tone. It's it's very balanced. It balances itself out nicely with its tension and its developments, and with a fair level of investment. And just and the ensemble in general is very solid. I think all of them do a good job, especially Ben Foster. I thought Ben Foster was great. Like when he, spoiler alert, is dying. It's like yeah, like I kind of felt that. Um, and it's standard. Of the three, I think Patriots Day has a little bit more meat to the bone. But this has more of a heart, and it's a fairly compelling piece of patriotism because ultimately it's what it is. It's like it's showing you also a different side of like Afghanistan, making commentary about Afghanistan, showing that Afghanistan is not purely this. There's also other sides as well. People fighting the good fight. Um, so and it feels not as embellished. There are some elements to it that feel embellished, like certain ways that characters die feel just like for a dramatic purpose. Um, Certain things also that happen like just throughout the course of the movie, specifically towards the end, that I'm just like, I don't know if that's really how it happened. But for the most part, it feels stewed in some form of realism, and with that, I was engaged. I found myself interested, intrigued. But as I said, I wish that it had more of a distinction, and um, not acting so much more as like a piece of like commercialism, you know, because it feels like it's just marketing the Marines and not presenting the the spirit of Marines, So, um, but good piece, and um, it definitely earned some of its tension. I was definitely getting tense at some moments, but where it really shines is with its performances, the craftsmanship that's being put forth by Peter Berg. It's a fairly balanced film, but it's also a very familiar one. You've seen this sort of story play out before. You also know where things are going to go. The title kind of gives it all away. So, um, but I was invested, and that's a pretty good mark, for any movie. Is that if you're invested, that tells you enough about how you feel about a film. So I liked it. I didn't love it, but I definitely liked it. So yeah. So those are my thoughts on Lone Survivor. I thought it was pretty good. Not great, like I said. I wish that commercialism, that infomercial type uh, feeling wasn't present, but I was intrigued. So this being Blind Tuesdays, let's go back to the wheel now, and let's see what next week's is going to offer. So I'm going to spin the wheel right about now. And next week on Blind Tuesdays is going to be ooh, shit. A piece of noir. Nice. Oh, shit. Okay. Nice. Nice. It was close to French New Wave, and I was like, oh, that might be interesting. But actually, No, actually, it was close to the 30s. So that would have been two very different types of movies. But um, cool. All right. So let me know your thoughts for next week's Blind Tuesdays. It has to be a noir, so not decade specific. Just give me a piece of noir. Um, and yeah, so that's it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts about Lone Survivor and just the trilogy of films that Peter Berg and Mark Wahlberg end up doing. Which of the three is your favorite? My personal being Patriots Day. But you guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. And until then, I will catch you guys in the next video.